Hello, this is Journey into Film with Philip Evans, and I am your host, Philip Evans. Joining me is my co host, Neil.
Hello?
And today we're basically talking about film and once in a while TV shows. And we're going to start this by Neil asking me questions about the film industry.
Okay.
And Neil, fire away, you crazy, crazy bastard.
Thank you very much. And if you weren't my friend, I'd throw you through that glass right now. So we'll just
And
do
then
it.
I would fly up and I'd take you to hell with me,
A
Neil.
little WWE action right there.
Screw that.
Okay.
ECW style.
All right. So
Yeah.
let me ask you this question. We'll start with the easy. I'll just throw you a little easy question, all right? So how did your love of film start?
Well, like most kids did, I started off as far as film, watching Disney and Warner Brothers related stuff.
Mhm.
I started watching my first film going experience was in 1994 when I was 4 years old. I saw The Lion King.
Sure.
And that to me, the opening of that film was like when you saw Star Wars.
You cried at that movie,
time.
didn't you?
I did not cry, Neil.
Okay,
but
just making sure. All right.
You did when you saw the Phantom Menace.
I did. I did like the
But-
film. All right.
No, a pot's on you, Neil.
Yes.
But that was my first film going experience, and since then, film has grown so much more in my life. I
Mhm.
became more and more of a fan of it. I really adore film. I started out liking kids stuff, but then I started moving on to when I was like 10 years old.
Mhm.
I watched more adult stuff,
Gotcha.
and I started getting. I just started watching more and more stuff to the point where I would. I just really enjoyed going to the theater. That going to the theater is like my castle, my church,
Gotcha.
my sanctuary, where I go to escape from the BS of the world and just have fun.
Now, how many movies do you think you've watched over the years?
Neil, that would require 2 notebooks about this thing.
Yeah, and I've seen your notebooks, and you've seen hundreds,
Yeah.
if not thousands, of movies.
Yeah, and I'm talking notebooks as big as a Stephen King book.
Right.
Like It or The Stand, something that big and thick.
Sure.
And I love film because film can challenge you, it can entertain you, it can excite you, it can make you question, it can piss you off at times.
Mhm.
But at least for me, when I walk out of the theater, or if it's a film I see on TV or I rent it and I watch it, then I basically walk out of it going, wow, that was amazing.
Mhm.
That was awesome.
What's your favorite genre of movies?
Well, comedy
Oh, yeah.
by far, because it used to be mafia stuff,
Mhm.
because my favorite film of all time is Goodfellas.
And The Godfather and all that.
Godfather 1 and 2. I love the Departed, and you even go back to the 40s with the film White Heat starring James Cagney,
Oh,
which
man, that goes
is
way
which
back a
is
long way.
amazing. When he says, "Oh, look at me now, Mom,"
Yeah.
before he, spoiler alert, blows up.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
so if you haven't seen that film, skip through that line and then see the film, then come back.
Yeah.
But I really loved it. But as time went on, I started realizing, I have more of a respect and more of a love for comedy because it's hard to do. But we'll talk about that franchise in
Sure.
a later show.
Absolutely.
But
So why is it important for you to have film in your life?
because a lot of times when I watch the news and I watch stuff, I do pride myself on staying up to date with current events.
Mm-hmm.
But if I spent the whole day watching the news, my head would explode. I would probably do this to myself
Sure,
after a
sure.
while because I mean, my God, if you watch the news and all you heard was Trump this, Trump that, Trump, 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 or this country is divided this way and that way, I'd be like this.
So what you're telling me is
You
you're a
know,
left wing nut job. Is what you're telling me.
oh, so you're gonna do me a little like that,
I
Neil?
am not a Trumper. I'll tell you that right now.
You're gonna. Okay, why here?
I'm
Why
not.
here?
I'm not a Trump lover. I'm just asking. All right. So.
You brought that up, you bastard. You brought that up. I'm gonna throw this in your face.
All right. So you told us basically a little bit about why it's important to have film in your life and why you love film and how you got into it. So there's some movies you really like, but you mentioned some old movies. What is about Hollywood today? What are some issues today in film that you see?
Well, back when I was a kid, like grade school age to even early teens, it was very hard for me to watch a film and go, that sucked. I mean, I loved the Adam Sandler as a
Mm-hmm.
kid. I loved him. I thought he was great. Then a funny thing happened to me, Neil. I grew up,
Mm.
and I would go back and I would watch a lot of the stuff I watched when I was a kid, and I'm like, yeah, a lot of the stuff does hold up well, like Beauty and the Beast,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ace Ventura, Wayne's World, Tommy Boy.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the stuff that I grew up watching.
Yeah. Which is funny, by the way.
Yes, of
Yeah.
course it is. Neil.
Yes.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
By the way, Dumb and Dumber, overrated.
Oh no. Oh.
Yes, I like
I
Liar the
love-
Liar. I like Ace Ventura 1 and 2. I
But
like
Dumb
The
and
Mask a
Dumber,
lot.
it's got some great one-liners.
That
It's
would
just
be
terrible.
number 10 on my list. If we ever do like a top 10 best of Jim Carrey, that would be number 10
I think
on my
you're
list.
a communist for saying that.
Yeah, well, I think you're a Russian spy, Neil.
Okay. Anyway, so go ahead. So what are some other problems in Hollywood today?
Damn you.
I got you. You know, you're scared that I called you a communist, and I'm going to turn you in, right, to Trump.
Now, if I turn you into the PC police first, Neil, because they, I think, are crazy.
Yes.
But the problems I have with Hollywood today, I started to notice it in like 2007. For instance, I started getting really burned out watching a lot of the people in comedy
Mm-hmm.
that I grew up watching, like Eddie Murphy, Mike Myers, Sandler. I started getting burned out. I started getting a little annoyed back then with the CGI. It started becoming clear to me that, yeah, this is really looking fake. This is really looking bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got burned out. And the more films I watch, the main problem with Hollywood today is over-reliance on the past, relying on old things. Now, yes, there are things that are good. Like, I loved Mad Max Fury Road. I enjoyed the True Grit remake from 2010.
As did I. Very good.
I enjoyed 21 Jump Street, the remake, and I enjoyed 22 Jump Street.
I never even liked the first 21.
The remake. Well, they're based on the old TV
Sure,
show starring
never
Johnny
even
Depp.
liked that.
That Johnny Depp didn't even like.
Yeah.
But according to him in his biography, he did not like. And I watched that on the E Network, so
Gotcha.
there you go. And I even taped it
Sure.
on DVD. But over reliance on the past, yes, you have good stuff like, like, what the hell is some old stuff that was good? I did enjoy Creed 1 and 2. I enjoyed Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
I enjoyed all that stuff, but you also did stuff like Baywatch
Gotcha.
and stuff like Miami Vice, the movie. You get Battleship, which was based off a board game that was terrible.
But you've watched movies like Casablanca and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, all those older movies.
Yes.
Do you like those much better than movies today?
I'm gonna be fair with you, Neil. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I do. Yes, there are films that I enjoy, which we will get into maybe toward the end of the show. But there are a lot of films from back in the day. For me, the golden age of film is the 70s.
Oh, okay.
By far, hands down. That's not true. Hades was better. Hades had the Goonies. It had the Wise of John Hughes.
I do love good movies.
It had Terminator. All those are great films.
Yeah.
Except for Goonies.
Oh, how can you say that?
I did not like it. I'm sorry, Neil.
The Goonies are
I
great.
gave it a shot, but
No, I'm not chubby on the Goonies.
I gave it a fair shot because I heard a lot of great stuff. Like, okay, well, let's watch it.
Yeah.
And then I sat down and I watched it and I was like, ugh, I do not care for these characters. But the film did one thing good that I liked. It was, I believe, it wasn't the first film, but it was the film that it gave us Josh Brolin, okay?
It did.
It was the film that kind of introduced us to Josh Brolin. And Sean Ashton was in that.
That's right.
I don't know if that was the first film that put him on the map, but it definitely got him noticed.
That's right.
So, okay, two good to great actors came from that film. But aside from that, I didn't care.
Okay.
But the 70s gave us Star Wars.
Oh.
The Godfather 1 and 2.
And you don't even like the new Star Wars.
I like The Force Awakens.
Okay. But I like all Star Wars. I'm a Star Wars fan from...
You're a Star Wars whore.
I am. I can't help it. I love the Star Wars.
You are, Neil.
I am a Star Wars whore.
You need to, the next time we do a show, I need to have you here in a freaking cocktail glass all with Star Wars stuff on it.
Oh, I would like that, as a matter of fact.
Now I need to question your wife to see if you're gay, Neil. Because I'm going to have to call your wife and see if you're gay.
All she does is call me an idiot, so...
You know what? I'm starting to believe it.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of things you don't like about Hollywood today. There's some issues out there, right? So,
yeah, and I'm not really done with that, Neil. Relying on the past is one thing, but another thing I don't like is it always kind of annoys me and pains me whenever I see a damn great actor in a piece of crap.
Gotcha.
I'm like, you're Robert De Niro. What are you doing in Grudge Match or Las Vegas or Bad Grandpa or what the hell was that one film that he did? God, I forgot the name of it, but it was this one film he did in 2012 where he was like a priest or something.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember it either.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
But I see guys like that, and I see De Niro and Pacino and Christopher Walken and Morgan Freeman, aka God.
Yeah.
And I see them, and I'm like, man, these guys have been in so many of my favorite films. What are they doing in this?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, paycheck.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you think Robert De Niro has made enough money? He didn't need a paycheck.
Well, you would think that, but Neil, the thing is, I think there's two sides of Hollywood. Hollywood is, no pun intended, two-faced. Because on one hand, there's people in Hollywood that care about wanting to give the best film, that make the best films we can, and just, just give us great stuff, great stories, great everything. But then there's the other side of Hollywood that says, fuck the masses, we just want to make money.
Yeah.
We just want to make money. We don't care if we're being faithful to the source material or not. We just want to make a profit. And it's because of that, again, we get stuff like Venom that I did see, and it was horrible.
You feel like the same thing about Transformers too, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Transformers, the Pirates of the Caribbean films, the Fast and the Furious films. Yes, they're doing a a spinoff starring hot set called Hobbs and Shaw, starring Jason Statham and and uh, and The Watch.
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson, for those of you who don't know.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I just lost all the interest because I really believe they should have stopped it at 5 and just killed it. Which is why, in a funny way, I actually give Spielberg props for one thing. Back in 1990, Gene Siskel asked him, "Are we ever going to see a sequel to E.T.?" He goes, "No, because it ended." I said everything that I wanted to say with that film, and there's no more to be said. It's done. The film is done, and I don't see a need for a sequel. And I give him a lot of respect for that because a lot of directors tend to go back to stuff, or in the case of the studios, they like to bring back a lot of old stuff, like with the new Halloween that I saw last year recently, and I saw it for the first time. I rented it and I watched it, and it started out good, but then in Act 2 there was a plot twist that I was like, "Are you kidding me? No, that movie, no, screw this film." And the film ends in a BS way. I was like, "Nope, I'm done.
Gotcha.
This movie sucks." Skyscraper, which is basically a whip-off of the Towering Inferno starring The Rock.
Gotcha.
There's so many bad films that I just roll my eyes. I just go, why?
All right, we're going to break for a second, and then we'll come back to it here.
Okay.
All right?
Come back. Is this thing still recording?